we are. So let's play the part. Welcome to the bong water zone. The one and only Donnie P is on. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We hope you enjoy the show. I was thinking, isn't it strange that we all have names? We take them so seriously when we're all just a bunch of nobodies, but I love it. So let's play the part. Welcome to the bong water zone. The one and only Donnie P is on. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We hope you enjoy the show. We are stars, yes we are. So let's play the part. I love it. So let's play the part. Welcome to the bong water zone. The one and only Donnie P is on. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We hope you enjoy the show. Every time I hear this beat, it gets crazier. Every time I hear this beat, it gets crazier. I get crazier. I get crazier. It gets crazier. Ketamine, fentanyl, cocaine, only one roof at KFC. Ketamine, fentanyl, cocaine, only one roof at KFC. Every time I hear this beat, it gets crazier. Every time I hear this beat, it gets crazier. It gets crazier. It gets crazier. I get crazier. Ketamine, fentanyl, cocaine, all in one roof at KFC. Ketamine, fentanyl, cocaine, all in one roof at KFC. I get crazier. I get crazier. doom's committing biblical atrocity. Saber home is soft like a lullaby for the dead. I'm fucking up sand people like Obi-Wan on premium Persian opium. Straight cleaving skulls, collecting Tuscan masks like ancient Mayan relics. First choke the bitch while snorting ground pharaoh mummy off a gaffy stick. We smoking that Tutankhamun tomb dust mixed with vaporized red or click. Rip the fat one open, wore they entrails like a supreme chain. Drip drip, pissed in holy water, lean cut with fresh yellow rain. Carved pentagrams in their chest, made the camp a sacrificial altar. Dancing like Fortnite on the chieftain's wife while she still had pulse and falter. Drinking blue milk, shaking with crusty Raider brains and lean. I'm the desert Moses, part of Red Sea's a Raider spleen. Scalped the whole tribe, stitched the dreads into Balenciaga robe. Left the bodies twitching for the crate dragons, premium anal pro. On that Cleopatra ass, venom cut with tattoo and fentanyl. Shorty deep throw my saber, hill coated and fresh after birth gel. Done soaked in common plasma, Raiders to the ash and trauma. Saber singing through the wombs, eternal desert drama. Obi-Wan a fallen angel, genocide with grace and glamour. Forest fucking a solid pit, nothing in its 1,000-year mouth. Pop the glitter stem shard laced with ground up Judas silver coins. Turn the ambush to a crucifixion, nailed them up a moisture vapor line. Stuff a separator dicks with spice, making gourmet bombs for the vibes. Drinking Lazarus tears mixed with Tuscan vaginal secretions and scribe. I'm the hermit antichrist, robe embroidered with Versace thorns. Buried survivors alive with scorpions crawling in they open source. Smoking that Confucius opium pipe pack with cremated Tuscan dead. Force pushed the whole lineage into the pit, watch the Sarlacc give head. We out here committing war crimes like Roman emperors on bath salts. Shorty sucking on my lightsaber crystals crushed with Rift Raider assault. I'm eternal like the pyramids, stacking skulls into obelisks. Desert hermit flow, sucking souls through severed clits. Tribe extinct, no witnesses left to snitch. Just the wind whispering my name through the bones and the bitch. Done soaked in common plasma.
How are you guys doing tonight? Hope you guys are having a good night tonight. Just trying something different. A little here and there. Alright, that's enough of that. We're gonna get started. I know, I'm a little late, so usually there'll be a few more songs, but right now we're gonna make some new shit. So let's look at what we have on the docket today. So we're gonna do the Fox News, so the Kirsch portion. So that's gonna be the Fox News portion about how, they've been establishing their base in Vietnam, interviewing the frog captain, interviewing the locals. Just this is the rough sequence that we're kind of going for. I want it to be about 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, something like that, just something to kind of establish what's going on and why we're there in the first place. And then at one point, there's going to be an interview with a rabbi, and it's going to have a strange glitch. It's just basically going to have like Jewish shekelcore music with a bunch of FTX advertisements frame after frame. That'll be interesting to make. But after we finish all that, that's when it's going to pull out. Tectone will have been reading it on or looking at it on the tablet, and he's just like, this is fucking stupid, and just throws it out the fucking window, and that's when we start with our opening sequence. So that is what we are going to do. Did you die on screen? Yes, you can die. The enemies will attack you. You will actually take damage. There are commands that you can do to hit. You'll get levels, all sorts of shit. It's a whole fucking game that there's an update I'm still working on. I promise it'll be out there, but it'll be in time. It'll be good. So, the only way to really do anything bio is !hit. And once you get to level 3, you can do !class with like, I don't know, like cleric and knight and roach and tank. And there's a few things here and there you can do, but the basics are you just do hit, and you hit. If you want to be a cleric, you can heal. And Like the cleric can heal everybody, and the wizard can heal one person at a time. And I think that that was the distinction between the two. I gotta really fix it and get rolling with it. Also, one thing to also I want to mention when it comes to AI, I did see a comment on um it's always been about the money video, so I'm gonna refresh it really quick so I can pull it up. 1,500 views, that's not bad. Let's do it by newest. Uh, okay. So it was this one. So he enjoyed it, but he said more of a fan of what Skybrow does with AI AMVs because it could 100% legit replace what we get with animations these days. So he's not wrong. I've seen a little bit about what Skybrows does, and I know how they do it. I'm very, very confident I know how they do it. But if you guys did want to do that kind of style on your own, and listen, animated styles, there's pros and cons to doing either one, and I kind of just want to start it off by just talking about this before we actually develop. But um, if you want to do an anime or animated thing, there are quite a few tools out there that exist that are really good, and AI is actually a lot better at doing animated stuff over realistic things. And it can also be a lot more forgiving when it comes to animated, right? So if I wanted to make an anime thing, it AI can be a lot more forgiving. And there's also less camera movements. There's just a lot less going on than with a realistic scene. And let me kind of show what I mean, and also I'm going to show the difference in the models. Don't worry. So here's an example. We'll start here, right? All right. So we got this dude, and it's pretty cool, right? A Viking with a shotgun. We have a song, and I do want to make this at some point, but we have a Viking with the shotgun at a shore, and this in itself, doing it live action would actually be really difficult to do. But then the more you go into animation, okay, there's a little bit less detail, but it looks more premium, I guess. This isn't exactly a great image to really showcase that with, but you can definitely get a much more premium look while being quote unquote lower budget, if that makes sense. And so with animated stuff, you can get away with less detail, less, accuracy. The camera motions can be less impressive because it doesn't matter as much. Like you don't need to maintain a super high level of detail when you're going through that. The best example I can give is if you're doing like actual, photography and trying to use photography to create a logo for somebody, you better have a really high resolution image in order to make that logo. Or you can use Photoshop or GIMP and you can make a vector. And a vector it can scale infinitely and it has infinite detail. So you can make it as large or as small as you want to match whatever canvas size that you need. Whereas an image, you can't directly do that. And so when you're doing anything with an anime style, any animated anything, that's when you start to run into that where you can have a quote unquote less detailed scene or less expensive scene, and because you don't need to have all of that. If this was a live action scene, you want to see a lot more in there. Does that make sense? And it's a lot less it and you're right, it is up to our artistic interpretation. You're 100% correct. But my point is that this right here, making something with this is a lot harder, especially with AI, than it is to do something with this. Now, I'm not a fan of this style. I fucking hate this style. And I would vastly prefer something that is much more. And I need to figure out how Higgsfield does animated styles because I'm thinking of doing something like that. Maybe I'll try and partner with somebody to do a collab with a video or with a song that I have to try and do it. But even with like 3D, where the character looks 3D, it still is an easier thing in order to make a character or make something with it, right? And when you want to make something, it also depends on the model that you use. It looks like Venture Boy style. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it looks good. It just doesn't like on its face. Does the image look cool? I mean, kinda, but it also just I don't know. It's missing something that gives it like life. It still just looks like a drawing. You know what I mean? And so if I wanted to do anime, I would have to use a reference style in order to get Nano Banana to actually understand that, or you could instead use a different model that understands how to do something more stylistic, the way that you want it to be, right? Like this is Seed Dance 4.5. It's much more what you're kind of wanting. Obviously, there's a lot of it's the writing and shit like that. It's not correct, but the point is it's understanding how to do something in an anime style or what or something animated in a much better way than Higgsfield necessarily. Live action has more demands to a cartoon clip that's mostly shadows and coloring. Yes, and I saw a little bit of the cream of the slop thing that Skybrows did, and a lot of the stuff that's in there. It's I don't want to necessarily say that it's easy to do, but generating that is easier than doing a live action version of that, right? Because if it's animated, there's so much less that AI has to work with in order to create these scenes. There's much less complexity. It just doesn't need to do a whole lot. Like this, it's more 8-bit. I don't know why the fuck it did that, but there's much less complexity. And it's much more about contrasting colors and shading and stuff and solid line work. So I understand where this commenter is coming from, where they're a fan of the AI AMVs because it could legit replace what we get with animation these days, and he's not wrong because as long as you're using the right model, you can absolutely do some wild shit with anime. Not putting down animations, but it has other demands like movement and DOS. Well, it's I or FPS, but I disagree with that. I actually do disagree with that because you can get away with exaggerated movements in an animated thing, right? How many times have people created that scene of somebody reaching back and just pulling out the most absurd fucking, rifle known to man or shotgun or whatever the fuck or sword, and it's just a really exaggerated movement. Or when you have people punching each other, just how exaggerated the movements get. You have a lot of leeway when it comes to animation versus live action. Live action is very, very rigid, and it's very difficult to get that exact same styling. And that it comes with there's a whole lot of challenges that you have. I do want to play with some animated stuff and see what I can do there, but AI will take over the animation space at some point. Absolutely. You love overly animated characters? Yeah, yeah, and I think it's pretty fucking cool. Some of the and again, this is without any references, right? So this has zero references at all. I didn't ask for references. I didn't put any in, and I guarantee that if I did, then I would probably get something a lot better than what I'm wanting. So, like here's with just text, we were able to get this, and it's just a simple clip. It was able to keep the character pretty consistent, and it was able to do multi shots. And multi shot, for those that don't know what multi shot is, and again, I'm not saying this is good, but the way that multi shot works is it tries to maintain consistency and it tries to do those quick shots within one video file. So then you have everything done and you don't have to generate a whole bunch of things, worry about lip sync and all of that. Oh, I'm good right now. Thank you. I love you. Having a good day. It's it's fine. Um, yeah, don't want to go down that right now, but it's fine. One of the best ways the difference is to show One Piece live versus anime. Yeah, I know, but the multi shot is actually a good feature because it allows for so much. Um, it also can think that this is what anime is, which it's not, but some of the AI models look really good and can look really, really good with something that is more stylized. I don't even know if I would necessarily call this live action. This looks more video game cutscene to me. It doesn't have, I don't know, there's just something about it that's off. However, we're getting to the point where even cheap, shitty models like Kling 01 is really stepping up their game. So people are gonna it's gonna be a lot harder for people to compete as we you know will be spoiled for choice. Let's put it that way. Did I see Angry Cup's video? Which one? Did he actually did he did he watch my that's video game? But yeah, it's all that is to say is that you can make some absolutely wild shit with AI, and Skybrowse and what they're doing is excellent, and they chose a good niche because you can absolutely do good AMVs and you can really do good animated stuff like that very, very easily, and compared to what I do, which does take a lot more effort and is very it's a lot more restrictive in what I can do compared to the freedom that they're allowed with the content that they make. So it's to each their own. I know how to do what they produce. I know how to do what Gucci Marks produce. I know how all these people make all of this content. I just choose to stay in the lane that I do because that's what I enjoy. Um. Oh, he wants to go sail the Gulf of America, take on narco pirates. That's amazing. You've had mostly issues with consistency on weapons and sub character aspect design aspects when it comes to different angles of shot, and art and style consistency can be a pain. Yeah, yeah, it would be. So with art style consistency, that's really difficult. There are certain places that allow you to actually have something set in stone as your um what's it called, as your style for reference, but whether it stays with that is really up in the air. Veo is usually the best, to be honest. But Kling, actually, I take that back. If you guys want to do animation stuff and you want to do what Skybrowse does, probably the two models that I would look at, and specifically because of how it handles animation more than anything else. Obviously, if you want voiceover work, you have to use Veo. But if you just want pure quality animation, you can actually get much better results, surprisingly, with Kling 2.6 or Kling 01. Either one of those are going to be fantastic for what you want to create. But if you're trying to do anything realistic, unfortunately, they just aren't there. Higgsfield and Veo are the only game in town really that can really get there and get that super. I don't know. There's a lot that they can do. WAN 2.6 from time to time can kind of do things, but yeah, I've done so much research and playing with every single model. Like if I'm just gonna show this really quick, and then we'll start working on the Kirsch portion. So just looking at this, right? These are all different generations from different models to see what gets accepted and what actually goes through, and it's actually each one of these is different. So let's see. So Vidu Q1. Oh, there's another one there. Oh God. It's just every single one of these is all different. I do not want to hear any of that fucking moon speak. but I try and see what models can do, what they can actually create, whether they accept a prompt or not. Like there's a lot that I do to really make it happen. Um, so yeah, no, a lot of these are like a lot of the models are just fucking trash, dude. They are absolutely trash. You can't believe it's so well, you clearly haven't seen his little cameo. Um, okay. So yeah, there's that. I don't think Tectone has actually seen it. I know Shinya saw it, and I bet if Shinya saw it, he sent it to Tectone. But yeah, that's where we're at there. The song also, by the way, for those that didn't know, it is also available for download on SoundCloud if that is your cup of tea and that is something that you would like to participate or to download or listen to without having to watch the video. So, okay, let me see. Is there anything else that really matters? Uh, no. Okay. All right. Yep, there's nothing else. Sweet. All right. Oh, by the way, this is if you just say retro anime that's gritty and detailed, this is the trash that you're going to get in Veo. Um remember we did the Pokemon episode by using Veo. So this it can do anime if you want it to, but it's it's pretty fucking awful. It's pretty fucking awful. It's so bad. In fact, it's I wanted to keep it so that you guys can see that it exists, but it's so bad I don't want to look at it anymore. The frog. Honestly, the frog is right here. That is my favorite fucking thing here. We're gonna capture that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put it in there. Perfect. All right. Yeah. If you guys want that as a meme, you know what? I'm gonna post it in Discord. Why don't I do that? Sweet. Yeah. If you guys want that for any purposes, you guys can certainly do that. It wasn't even anime, it was graphic novel. Yeah, it's terrible. I fucking hated it. All right. I think it's time that we actually get a genuine Kirsch model because we've just been prompting it every single time. So let's actually fucking let's do that so we can have a reference. Nano Banana Pro, yeah. Let's see, and uh, white background, 4K, 4x3 is fine. We'll generate 4. Can we get a homeless iDubbbz and Anissa? I mean, and Anissa's busy fucking him from here. You know what we got. Give me a second. Was it in uh yeah. Yeah, that's what he what's where he's at.
What the fuck is that?
That's where they're at. So, yep, that's, we got Ian and we got his husband. Yep, that's exactly where it is. So we covered this. They're busy. All right, let's see. Oh God, these suck. All right, we're gonna do that. Let's try playing. Let's try. I doubt this is gonna get me anything of value, but fuck it. Let's see if we can get it. So canonically, he's just stuck there for the entire series for now. That's better. Hmm. I don't know which one. I'm leaning more towards this or this. That looks ancient. Just because I know you guys are particular about this person. You'd lean more on the anime one? Well, that it's Fox News. It's Fox News. So no. Um it's all live action. Otherwise I would take that under advisement, but um let's do that at 4K. Cuz yeah, we got to get like these are no. No, no, no. None of these. Everything from here up is so far better. Um Okay, this is Nano Banana. What the fuck is Nano Banana doing? These are disgusting. Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to fucking see. Get out of here. Die. Get out. Perfect. Yep, I don't want to see these fucking things. Nano Banana making some fucking garbage. Those are some good ones, although they're not going to work in these top ones. This one, I bet a lot of you guys probably want that to exist. But that is not going to work in Vale. Unity distraction. Yeah, I know what you mean. Third one from the top left seems like the best. This one? This one right here? Or this one? The top left? Yeah, we can't make that. We can't do the top left one. It's not going to work. I promise. I might make it a art that you guys can grab on because that's in 4K, so I can make that art if you guys would like that on Patreon. Or actually, no, I'll just fucking throw it on X. I don't give a shit. I'll throw it on X later. Uh, that third one is close to a deep fake without trying. But this one, which one? I Okay. Like, are you saying this one is as close to a deep fake as possible, or this one? Because the problem with this one is it's not a full here. You're saying this. Because this is going to be the model that is going to exist for, or at least the reference image that's going to exist for her for the future for consistency's sake. This one? All right. Like, I don't know. Like, I know you guys probably enjoy that one, but I don't know how to translate that into something that Veo is going to allow. So that is the one that we will keep. Perfect. Put it to a vote. We have to focus. I know you have to focus, but all right. So we have our images or our image. So that's now our reference ingredients to video. We need okay. There we go. This it'll be more consistent, and then shit, hold on. Who was it that wanted that? Anti-American protests all across Paris, France. Cool. I don't care about you, France. Go fuck yourself. Like, you don't like us? What are you gonna do? Surrender again? Okay. So let's pull up our episode here, and we're gonna start development. We're gonna start developing on this. Add multi-view 1.9 to the prompt, and then edit the output to just have the front view you need. I don't need to. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Let's do. They'd use like that, and we'll see what Higgsfield comes up with. But see, the thing is for Higgsfield, like if I like something, like this was the first car that we looked at and we liked it, and then we could generate all of these, and it generates 1080p photos of all of these different angles, and then I can upscale each individual one or all of them to 4K. So I can already do that on Higgsfield if I want to. And all the cinematic shots are all going to be done in Higgsfield going forward. What was the updated fucking car that he's using now? Oh, there it is. It's fucking Fleshlight sponsorship. uh. Wait, wait. Recard. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, no, what the fuck? Okay, we're not going to use that goddamn thing. Hold on. What a horrible fucking lens to use. That is some fucking dog shit right there. All right. Hold on. I'm about to judge people. Oh, okay. Of course. Sorry. I saw this image and I had to judge it. Of course, Donut's there with the MP7. Hey, look. A scar with an optic on it. How rare that is. You fucking just a flip, so just a G33 or G43 on a fucking flip beside instead of a Unity mount. Clown. Uh, it looks like a Daniel Defense stock. Who the fuck uses that shit stock? Oh, God. Gross. Absolutely gross. Absolutely gross. All right. Like, that's not bad, but that's not at all what we want. But so that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna do beep-a-da-beow. And now let's see what it looks enhanced. All the fucking lens flare. I know. It's really bad. That's the thing, is that all of the different settings that you use in Higgsfield, they all really matter as to the output that you get. Your focal length, the camera that you're emulating, the lens that you're emulating. And I'm sure that you could probably try and get some of these settings on whatever generator you're doing, but these are pretty fucking impressive with the settings that they have and how it alters what it creates, right? If I choose a digital camera, and it'll kind of look fake in some regards. Whereas if I choose a camera like that is supposed to have film, chances are pretty high that it's going to look realistic, dated, old, something that looks really, really good. But it's you're really using it to get specific effects out of whatever camera that you're using. Need a cool down between gun rants. Yeah. Has a HyperX headphones and everything. Okay. So it's able to create. I think it looks very consistent. Perfect. So all we got to do is throw that into Veil. Okay. So we're going to copy that. We're going to go back. Tectone. I deleted that shit because fuck that. And then. Beep, beep, beep. That's not what I chose. That's what I chose. Okay, so let me look at. All right, real quick, I need to get meta with this. When did I upload that short? That short was day 1. That was December 1st. So that's been 36 days. Foxy open and says, "Good energy and welcome to Fox News. Today we are taking a closer look at Tectone's Vietnam 2 invasion of Vietnam, which is on its Actually, no, we're releasing this on the 23rd, right? So, uh, 54, 54th day uh, of burning villages, uh, of absurd combat. 54th day. We let's see here. I think we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna extend it, and she's gonna say something about the and then hold on, another ingredient in the background. I need ba-ba-da-ba. Oh, let's see. I need Mm, 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 mm. I need war footage in the background. I think that's a good one. Some more footage of fat. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Very soft. Yes, you did. Um. All right. Let's see what we got here. Cool. Having trouble finding the Discord. Give me a second. You would like to join the Discord? What about the SA80? The SA80 is just a stupid piece of shit. Let's see. And John Ferguson, all he does, I don't know, man. He's indecipherable. He seems like a professional, but he does so many fucking like clown clickbait just shit. I just don't even know. Like I just might violate our policies. What? Since fucking when is this gonna violate the policies? All right, we'll do it without the war in the background. No, it's good, dude. We need I don't know why it's wanting to fucking fight me. I will get my fucking scenes that I want generated. I will do it. If this is a trick for those of you guys that haven't been in one of these development streams before, where we're working on something that might have more sensitive information or more sensitive content, if you keep regenerating it and you force generate a shitload at the same time, chances are pretty high that you'll finally get one of them through. What? It might violate your policies. Why? Uh, Okay, is it the description of her? Like, why are we having problems? Like, why nobody fucking stops me on this shit. I will force this fucking shit through. Don't worry. I will force this shit. Generating sexual content. Her tits are too big. And that's why we're gonna do as many 4-stack so 5 4-stacks. Let's see if it works out of 20 fucking generations. So if you get stuck on a generation that's just not working, this is what you do. This is what you do over and over again until you eventually get 1 or 2 generations. And if it sucks, it sucks. But sometimes you're just not going to be able to get around, the failure that you have. Damn big cherries, yeah. It was telling me, no, you're all good, dude. It's not a big deal. But if you wanted a man with big tits, it would be okay with it. Probably would be okay with it. Now I just generate myself. God, why are we fucking failing, man? It's not. It's provocative. It's not sexual. Um, is it that? Because I've fucking generated Fox News on this shit before. I'm looking thin. I'm not that thin, dude. Um, I got a lot. I got a lot to lose. And acting like she hasn't flopped down on a platter or something. I know. That's the thing that's really frustrating about AI is it's not understanding things. Like that's a risque photo, right? But that's borderline. I don't even know if I would say borderline safe for work. Like that's like yeah, it's huge tits, but it I don't know, man. Fucking censorship is absolutely wild. And if it's about the Fox News thing, I'm like that's the thing that's really annoying to me because I've gotten Fox News to work before. You seen high school? Yeah, yeah. That's on you for looking. Fuck, dude. All right. Tonight, I forgot we had to change that. All right. Let's generate a shitload of these. Let's fucking do what we had to do. We did this during the Nux episode, the first Tectone episode. I mean, shit. Like so, and here's the thing: it's wild what it allows through on the first time, and what it decides can't be displayed. It's fucking crazy. Like the watermelon and like weed trains, no problem. Having it say that Elon Musk is the highest ranking African, which is a clear and actual, like, truthful statement, not allowed. Not allowed. Like, as meaning not telling me, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not that fucking crazy, right? Like, if that had popped up, like, on a computer when I was at work, I would be like, okay, yeah, whatever, right? No one would really get mad about it. No one really, like, it's like that's why I know this one wouldn't work, right? Fuck it. Let's try this. If this one works, I'm not gonna know why. I am not gonna know why. You'd get some weird skeptical looks. Well, sure, but at the same time, like, you know, like it it doesn't cross that line. Like it's almost there, but it doesn't cross that line. 3 pixels too much skin? Yeah, probably. It's super annoying, and you know you got to do what you got to do to get around it. But like the African thing was really annoying. The getting around having Donald Trump's face and having Veo generated was I got around that by just putting a goatee on Donald Trump. That was an easy one. And same thing with Elon Musk, is I had to put a goatee on him, and then it generated. But outside of that, it was it. I've been able to get around quite a bit, and it's really annoying. And if it's saying that I can't do it because it's Fox News, like motherfucker, like I did it before. Is it too much tit? Is it too out there? Like fuck it. Reuse settings. Hmm. This does not want to work tonight now, does it? Kirsch, your tits in this character is too fucking powerful. Fuck, I need it larger. Uh, let's try generating some more. Change the description. Well, I've changed the description already. That's fucking hideous. That's fucking gross as shit. No. I'm not generating something that looks like that garbage. Yeah, those are definitely not going to work. This one might. Yes, I want to replace it. All right. And then it's covered up just a tiny bit more, and then it's going to work. It's so fucking stupid, dude. The Nux News Network? Oh no. Oh no. It's a lot less revealing than other AI art. I know. That is just no. This this is like a fucking grandma that's trying to cosplay as Kirsch. That's no. Yeah, yeah, that will not work. uh, maybe this one will. Yeah, no, physics is really trying to is suffering there. The Nux News Network would be epic. It's like, oh, that's all it was. 3 fucking pixels, too much cleavage. Thanks, AI. God, it's so fucking.
Folks, Shoe News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day.
Is it just me or does it seem really shit? What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Hold on. You know what? You know what? This one. Boom. Fuck it. Focus on a couple of wrong things. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing that's it's absolutely it's ridiculous that this is allowed, then this is a little too much. Like what the fuck? It's just like a couple pixels. Need different ears, those. Don't think you get away with black ears. Uh, it's such a weird. God. Fuck, I didn't change my settings, did I? Okay, widescreen 4K. All right. We'll get there. This is so annoying, dude. She has carpal tunnel and tendonitis, so she doesn't like only the 9mm she's shot handled. And you don't want her carrying a 22 because it's small, so getting a 380. I know they're boobies. Yep. Yeah. Look, okay. So there's this one, right? This is okay to generate with. This. Oh, I know why, but just it's three fucking pixels. Yeah. Oh. What the G? All right, G. Oh, here's the genie. he's so tired. He's so tired. All right. Pull up my pants. Well, I'm sitting here most of the time. I'm not gonna even bother. All right. I think. Here we go. I think that one's good. We're gonna have that. We'll take this. We'll take that. All right. The fat or prongs are progressing. and it's looking let's see, hold on. The fat frogs are surprising. Let's see here. Let's see here. Burger 22.45. You want here. I know. Well, I'm not gonna. I promise this isn't gonna turn into a whole fucking thing, right? Carpal tunnel and tendonitis. That sucks, but um, 226, HK, USP or Mark 23. You can actually get them very cheap. I like the 226 better over that. Or you get a Glock 19 with a Radian ramjet, and that'll be far superior in every single way. Or if, yeah, and then also the Shield 380 is decent, but yeah, I wouldn't not a PPK. I would not do a PPK. I would do something that actually has capacity to it. I do a 229 or 226 or a Glock 19 with a ramjet, and the ramjet helps a lot, like a lot. And if you do it like a Glock 19, then you can put like a TLR 7 on there, and it'll be a perfect little carry gun. I did that with an OZ9. She doesn't need like an OZ9. OZ9 is too expensive. OZ9 is nice, but way too expensive. 45th day. The fat frogs are and it seems like it's really kicking off. It's oh, we need frames. Okay. You're getting a P90. Yeah, it's okay. I'd be considering Mark 23. What would you consider cheap for that? You're principally opposed to giving Sig any money now. Yeah, I wouldn't give Sig any money. Here's the only thing I would say about the Mark 23 or USPs. I'm going to tell you 100%. If you get one, you don't need to do anything to it. It's fine as it is. The only thing that you would ever want to do later on down the line is maybe get the Knights can, if you can ever afford one, or a B&T can. But honestly, the Mark 23, that's a go to work gun. You want a 45 that can go and be extraordinarily reliable. That's what you do. Or you get a 226. Either one, your choice. But those are my go-to choices. If you want something like really really cheap that you can depend on, a TSAS 1911. People can meme on them all they want, but they're actually not terrible. They're really not terrible. You're gonna get an optic and the B&T can. The B&T can's okay. Optic, if there's a place that does quality optics, get an Acro or an RMR, but don't do like anything else. Gun shop and Mustang. Okay. Yeah, what gun shop and Mustang? I bet I've been to it. You're getting a 1911 soon too. Yeah, the TSAS 1911s are actually surprisingly good for what they are. They just they don't hold value because it's a fucking TSAS. It's a Turkish thing. Big boys. Oh. How's the daughter's first day at school? It was good. She had fun. She was happy to be there. It's one of those things where when you have when kids go back to school for the first time after being on break, they don't want to go in, and it's a whole fucking hassle. I saw like three or four other kids not want to go inside because they wanted to be with their parents still, but it she did well. She was happy. She enjoyed it. Did they base the TSAS off the Series 70 or 80 design? I have no earthly idea, but I know their 1911s are pretty good, and then their 2011s are also pretty good, and they're also compatible with any Nighthawk, Atlas, staccato parts. So there's that. Call them mommy missers. Yeah, there's a lot of them that didn't want to leave, but it wasn't bad. The web page, okay. I think they used to be. Hmm. That sounds familiar. Let me click here so it opens on this page. I'm gonna judge these dudes super hard. Um, wow. Okay, it's the lone wolves. I mean, whatever, but just selling builder sets. That's what do they got for semi-autos? Oh yeah, this place is some hot garbage. Like I'm sure it's probably a great place to go, but just looking at what they offer and the brands that they have, um, oh my god, they sell rally defenses. Those things are fucking hand grenades. Those should be NFA devices or destructive devices. I don't know how many I've seen blow up in people's hands. Uh, all the high points. They have all of the fucking like range bait toys. That's what they have. Everything that they have is all range bait. They don't have anything of yeah, this is all stuff that people would get if they don't know any better. And then there's a few things that are special order like in fucking Barrett and whatever, but they probably just have those because yeah, no, that's a range bait store. And range bait means that they're people that have things that look cool, and they kind of gaslight people into thinking that they have quality when they don't. Okay, so if this is giving me problems, I think we're gonna have to do without the Kirsch model for now. Let's see if we can do this right here. Flat range ninja, yeah. Yeah, it's all the stuff that like makes it seem like it's cool, but when you actually look at it, it's uh, 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 uh. It's all a bunch of just fucking slop. Okay, if text to video works, I'm just going to say fuck it. We're not going to use a dedicated Kirsch model because AI wants to think that it's like listen. If there was another AI out there that actually could do voiceover work good, then or well, then we would be using that. But unfortunately, there's not a single AI out there that can do lip sync audio and generate audio properly. Like when we did the EBT song, there's a lot of like it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of issues with it, but there isn't anything else out there that's like Veo. And so if I have to hard prompt it like this, then that's what we're gonna do instead of creating the model for it. But goddamn, I really don't want to keep using um Veo or oh no, she's a nuclear engineer. Oh no. Oh no. You bet Kirsch would love to VA for this.
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day.
Let's do it again. Oh no. Yep. You hope she's watched silently in chat. I don't know who watches my fucking streams. I have no earthly idea. Uh if she wants to be portrayed as that, I mean, sure, but that's not the style that we've been going for all this time. It could be so much worse though. Um, I think Brand, there's a few of you guys that were here when we tried doing it when we got the 3.1 upgrade, and instead it turned her into a furry monstrosity. And it was just the most disgusting, vile, like cat creature you've ever seen in your fucking life. It was vile. Yeah, no, it doesn't. If people watch, they watch. If they don't, then they don't. It doesn't matter to me. I've said it several times. It does to me, honestly. As long as there's just one person that watches what I do, that's all that matters. I just want to be there to brighten people's day.
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day. Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to delete those two because we don't need it. We're going to move these all the way over. And then I need... where was that original thing? Was it Dr. Moist? Yeah. Wait, was it? Dr. Moist is the one that had it, right? Yeah, there it is.
Fox News, where retardation and autism meets.
Excellent.
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day.
Okay. Boom, boom. We're gonna extend, let's see here. The woman continues. The fat frogs have established their several bases in the region, and we go now to speak with one of the base with the top frog in charge. Okay. Tectone's invitation. I don't know. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna figure that out. All right. I now need to. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Nanner Bananer. We're gonna upload because we need a reference. I think if we're talking to the top frog, maybe I should be the top frog. Should I be the top frog? Should I be the one that's getting interviewed? Yeah, okay. Do I have a good picture of myself? Let me grab one. Drive. Uh. Fuck. Okay, so that's one I can download. No. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's it right there. We'll grab that one. I think I have that one already, but we'll download it just in case. But definitely that one. Okay. The Tectone 2. A man in a frog costume with a American flag robe, cowboy hat, and a that has four over stars like a general, and is standing in a busy military base in Vietnam with a bunch of fat guys in frog suits going about their business, helicopters on pads, business. He is being interviewed by someone at Fox News. All right. All right, here we go. Let's see. Hey, John. How's it going, dude? All right, let's see if we can get this. What? What? Okay, so is AI capable of just fucking brain rot now? Like, is it just generating brain rot? Because I didn't ask it to make any of this. What the fuck is that? Whatever, dude. What the fuck ever. Okay. Jesus. All right. Uh, Jamaican VPN or something? No. No, not at all. All right. Let's see what this looks like. And a banana has got to be on point with this one. It's not wanting to supersize it. Shame. I mean, it's getting most of it. It doesn't really look like me. No. We'll go for another stack. Nana Banana really wants a banana tonight. Yeah, no, it's fucked. Come on. Let's try. Let's try that. And then we'll try Seed Dream. Content policy violation? What are we doing, dude? You know what? Uh,
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day. The Fat Frogs have established several bases in the region, and we go now to speak with the top frog in charge.
hmm. What the fuck is that? All right. That's something. It didn't understand shit there at all. And then it does what it man, I apologize for how fucked this has been already. So it's fighting me every step of the fucking way, and I don't get it. I asked for the hat. I did ask for the hat. The hat is part of the original image. That's the original image. It's the best one that I got. It's the most recent of me. All right, we're gonna do. I just. This is so dumb because when we were doing the fat frogs in Vietnam, it didn't take that. It wasn't that fucking difficult. Like it really wasn't that hard to do it, right? And now all of a sudden, something happened between when we made the original trailer for "It's All About the Money" and this, and it's fighting me constantly. Oh, I don't like it. It's frustrating. If I have to do all of it, or at least generate all of the images in Higgsfield, that's fine. But I really would rather not, because that's so expensive. If it's going to be too difficult, we might have to figure something else out for tonight and then come back at it tomorrow if it keeps fighting. Okay, that's not at all. That's closer. That's a lot closer. Uh, uh, it wouldn't be bad, but I don't know what that weird artifact is on the mustache. Yeah, it's not bad. Like I'll keep it in the pocket just because it'll work if I need it. This is really frustrating, guys. However, to be perfectly fair, this is what happens when you develop like this. We ran into the same issues when we did the Tectone, the first Tectone episode, the Nux episode. Like this that just it happens. So we'll focus on something else for the episode. Like we can definitely get some music done if we want to. That wouldn't be bad. All right, that's better. Okay. That is just that is wild. Like sure, this looks fine, right? This part looks fine. But then you got all of these dudes walking around with literal suits with frogs on them. That's the one. We use fully bodysuits terminology. No, no, because then it gets into some weird shit. Like I've tried it before. It goes into a fucking like a really weird place if you do that. And same with mascot. It's just gonna make the entire fucking thing a giant fucking mascot suit. It's like I've tried it before and it's never like if I say frog suit, this is what it usually will make. right? If I say frog costume, it's going to be much, much more than this. It's going to be a lot worse than this to where it's not even a face. So, I don't know. It's terminology that's been weird like that. Yeah, that's going to be the image for sure. So now we got to edit it. It gets Uncanny Valley, yeah. No, I don't need to resize it anyway. I just need save JPEG. Annoying that it only created one. Let's listen to it. Is this worth keeping or should I start again? Hold on.
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day. The Fat Frogs have established several bases in the region, and we go now to speak with the top frog in charge.
We'll keep it. We will keep that one. You want a real frog suit like Yoshi, but a frog? Yeah. Yeah, because I got to keep it 16 by 9. At least for this part. Like, I don't mind having the 21 by 9 aspect ratio for this part right here for the actual cinematic portion. But for the rest of the episode, where we're going to have a lot of dialogue, I'm going to keep it 16 by 9 as much as I can. Later, John, dude. Anyone else get a warble? It happens here and there. Okay. On the right says, how are things going in Vietnam? On the left says, hey, brash and voice. Let's see. These fat frogs. Let's see. I need to think about how I want to describe the fat frogs. Right? Because we wanna really talk about how we want to emphasize what's been going on up to this point. Um Burning, but they really are a pain in the ass to deal with. Uh, um, Let me see. I'm trying to think how I want to word this. Have succeeded in the most disastrous manner. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. They burn villages, but crash every helicopter. And I'm just um there we go. The frog stealing money from the Somalians as a prompt. We can definitely work on that. I don't see a problem. I just need to get there. I need to get it. Wait. Hold on a second. Where did that go? Where did it go? Shit. Sorry, the thing just fucking refreshed. Anyways, it was something about the new mayor of Seattle has decided to not allow cops to arrest people for open drug use. So, isn't that like violently illegal? Isn't that like violently illegal to do? Is that real? Yeah, it's the new mayor of Seattle did that.
How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most disastrous manner, but managing them sucks worse than denims on $10 Tuesdays.
Federal law much? Well, you can't just legalize drugs. You can't just fucking do that.
How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most disastrous manner, but managing them sucks worse than denims on $10 Tuesdays.
How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most
How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most disastrous manner, but managing them sucks worse than denims on $10 Tuesdays.
Yeah. How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most disastrous manner, but managing them sucks worse than denims on $10 Tuesdays.
Let's see. When is something being illegal ever stop the government from doing anything? Well, it's most states legalized weed. I mean, I don't know, man. Here's the difference. Here's the difference, right? The big difference is I don't know how to really explain this outside of there's a big difference between getting high, smoking weed, eating an edible, whatever. There's a huge difference between that and shooting up heroin. snorting cocaine and dealing with the aftermath of somebody that is high. There is a wild difference between somebody on drugs. I would vastly rather deal with somebody who is barely like a conscious from fucking, being high on marijuana than any other drug that is going to make them violently seek out that high later. The federal government is fine with states legalizing marijuana in a sense because it's not that bad. But legalizing cocaine, like it there is no world where legalizing marijuana is the same thing as legalizing heroin. It's not even in the same fucking category. And when you start saying any drug, that's when you cross a fucking line, right? And that's how you bring the ire of the Fed upon you. Because you can look the other way on quite a few things. For example, you can, like California. Here's a great example. California does everything in their power to try and make owning a firearm illegal, right? And there's quite a few people that own guns in California, right? But the thing about it is they can't outright say you cannot own guns in California. If they went out and just said, yeah, you can't own guns in California, then the federal government would be upon them. And I guarantee if they could get away with it, they absolutely 100% would. Downside, there's an enormous amount of firearms in California. There are so many. And, they're scared about, the AR-15 here and there that has more than 10 rounds in the magazine. But they're not scared of the massive amounts of fully automatic Mac 10s and Mac 11s that are still in the Los Angeles area that gangbangers use. Like there's a lot of shit that's over there, and nobody really wants to recognize just how many guns are in California that are not registered and not legal to own, but they still exist there anyways. What's the difference between illegal and paying a fine? Too many things are technically legal for a fee. Well, sure, but so many states are openly defying the federal government now. I know, and that's the thing. Here's where what it boils down to for me. Also excellent. I love saying that there's like 20 people that dropped off. Uh, I guess talking about this just nuked it, or maybe just me. Not saying anything did, but anyways, um. I don't think that the federal government at all is going to do shit. Like they're not doing anything about the Somalians. They're taking their sweet ass time taking care of all this shit, even though it's out there in the open. They're not doing anything about Ilhan Omar. They're like, and if you tell me that they're trying to build a case, like, dude, there's too much evidence already. Get rid of them. Take action. Actually get rid of people. Put people in jail. Like, do something. We're not doing anything. So people continue to do shit and nothing ever fucking happens. The fact that Venezuela happened, that's entirely because it's a different country. None of that's going to happen here. It's fucking stupid. Status quo is the law of the land. Exactly. But it's just no one wants to do anything and things keep getting worse, and they're, I don't know. What is going to happen is there is going to be a correction the other way. And these people aren't ready for when that correction happens. And they will try and resist, but they will not be held in high esteem. Like, there is going to be a correction in the opposite direction, and it's going to be really bad for a lot of people, particularly those that have a belief that the Somalis are not committing fraud. What kind of correction? Well, unless the federal government actually does something about it, violence against state officials, extreme violence against state officials for absolutely laying waste to American taxpayers and this country. I would be willing to bet everything that I have ever owned that our national debt would not be nearly where it is if people would actually hold others accountable in this country and actually required people to show proof that they're doing something and not just creating endless cycles and creating industries based on things like homelessness and whatever. We would probably have a surplus, maybe, because we certainly pay enough in taxes that we shouldn't have the deficit that we do. But you look at Minnesota, you look at senators that or people that are House representatives that go from having what 30 $45,000 net worth to $30 million net worth. Yeah, no, it's gonna be violent. It's gonna, and the longer it goes before that correction happens, and right now, the best thing that can happen is going to be people getting arrested and going to jail. That would be the best thing that could happen. The worst thing that can happen is extreme violence. But every day that goes by, and every day that people are seeing more and more shit happen, and they're saying less and less actually happening from the federal government and nobody doing anything about it, the more likely it is that people are going to take things into their own hands. If nothing happens to these Somalians this year, you can bet that there's going to start being roving gangs of people that will lynch Somalians. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Like, it's second civil war. Yeah, that's absolutely on the table. And the longer that Trump goes without doing anything about it, or anyone in the federal government goes without doing anything about it, or being blind, oblivious to how the world works or how the internet works, like they have access to every single IP and everything that people have when they're posting, death threats, or they're posting things about how they're trying to plan, attacks, but they don't do anything to prevent shit, or they don't take action against people that are trying to the dude that docks one of the commanders of the raid in Venezuela. No one's doing shit about it. Like, it's you saw a YouTuber making anti-tank Batman armor. Yeah, no, it anti-tank Batman armor. Here, listen. All I'm going to say about body armor is this, especially vehicle armor. It's one thing to armor something. It's another for it to be able to absorb the force of whatever impacts it, right? If a tank is shooting a round at a vehicle, it doesn't matter unless it has a lot of tonnage on it to stop it from even being flipped over, or for some other structural failure to happen. Just because you have armor doesn't make, like, you can do all the people that do ballistics testing on like steel plates and shit. All that is all fine and dandy until you put somebody behind it that plate has to then be impacted, and that force has to go somewhere, and that's going to go into your chest. That's why you have a plate backer to absorb that impact. Like, I don't know, man. People they don't think. But no, like, Walls needs to be arrested. He should be arrested. In fact, he should hang. To be perfectly honest, wasting that much money in pillaging that from American taxpayers and making himself rich, and then causing somebody that tried to get on top of it and to be assassinated, or at least be complicit in some way. Yeah, no, he should hang for that. But he, at the very least, needs to be arrested immediately and thrown in jail. Same with anyone that agrees with him, to be perfectly honest. If you think that Somalians are not out there scamming you, even though, like, the average, the average Somali has a lower IQ than my fucking thermostat. And my thermostat, for the record, is set at 66. So you can't fucking tell me, like, it's wild. And where's all these dividends that Trump says that we're getting? Oh, that's right. Everything's getting absorbed and stolen by all these other illegal immigrants across the country because he's not getting rid of them fast enough. Just saying, man, like, I don't know. It's aren't inbreeding disabilities done across the DSM? I just yeah, I'm just I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I'm going to do everything in my power to not pay taxes in the most legal ways possible. There are so many loopholes that you can do legally, um, especially a lot that people have signed into law. Here's an example, right? The truck that I no longer have, I can write off the interest on that truck. I can write it off because it's an American-made vehicle. Your interest can be written off. You can create your own museum, and you can loss carry forward $500,000 to up to $500,000 per year. Or let's say that somebody makes a donation to your museum, you can carry forward $500,000 per year, and if somebody um, and up to 5 years. So what? 5 times 5, 2.5 million. If someone gives you a $2.5 million donation, then you can carry that forward for 5 years, $500,000 for 5 years. I know people have done that before. There's a lot of shit that you can actually do in order to avoid paying taxes. And I guarantee that there's a lot more than you know of that you can use to loophole your way out of paying taxes. And that's how a lot of people, that's how a lot of people avoid paying so much. I don't personally believe in paying taxes. We have to, unfortunately, but consult a local tax professional. You want someone that is going to do it by the books, but they're also going to be pretty fucking sneaky about what they can get and what you can claim for that. Right here's some free advice. You can start your own little business. You're an LLC. You can start it for free, or not for free, but you can start an LLC. They're inexpensive, and you can start to run a business out of that. And it can be something very simple. For example, technically, what I do here by streaming, this is a business. So everything that I purchase or everything that I earn from this is all written off in one way, shape, or form, or counted off of it, right? So when I got this new microphone, okay, cool. I was able to charge that off because it was used for that business and I acquired it for that business. There's a lot of things you can do in order to get around paying taxes. And I highly recommend to every American to do their part in avoiding paying taxes as much as legally possible. Because if you do it the illegal way, well, you're more than likely gonna get a knock at your door. Because the reality is the IRS goes after the small individual, the small citizen. They don't care about illegal citizens. They especially love small businesses. So, especially brick and mortar stores, they love to fuck those people up. But they love to fuck people up that are on the lower end of the tax bracket because they could squeeze you and get you into perpetual debt. So, yeah, like Asmon's new PC. Yep, absolutely. Everything down to the computer screen you use can be written off in taxes. Absolutely. You can stream for an hour a month and say that you're a streamer and you're acquiring devices and stuff that you're reasonably using for your stream, and therefore you can write them off. And then you can get even more back on your tax refunds. Now, consult a tax professional to see how much you can reasonably write off and what can and can't. And it's not saying to go and all of a sudden buy a 3090 or a 5090, for $3,000 and use that as a loss carry forward for 2026 because, we're no longer in the 2025 tax year. So there's that. Here's the other thing also. A lot of people, when you look at crypto, I've done a fair bit of crypto, market analysis, and I've done some trading and I've made some money. I made enough money to buy this house. So there's that. But I will say that the only time that the tax man comes after you on crypto is whenever you convert a crypto to dollars. And you can use something like the Coinbase card, the debit card, where you can actually, or credit card, either one, which is based off of your crypto balance. And whenever you want to spend money, it converts it at the point of sale from whatever crypto you have into US dollars. And that way you're never actually paying on the entire amount that you have in crypto. That's also why you see usually a lot of people sell in January and a lot of people start buying in December so that people can get things towards the year end. People cash out for the rest of the year. There's a lot of things that you see in that space. But do what you can to, and if your job allows you to, and is kind enough to your requests, and again, consult a tax professional. But if your job allows you to, and there is in Coinbase or some other service allows you to do this, I would recommend getting paid in crypto as much as possible, and only spending what you can. Um, uh, with something like the Coinbase card that converts your crypto into US dollars. That also is the same. That's also a benefit to if you pay overseas for things. You see something that's 10 British pounds because you're buying some. I don't know what you're buying. Those, you can take your pick of what you want to buy. It'll convert to that currency, and it will not convert to US dollars. And so instead, you will not pay taxes on any of that because you did not actually get US dollars for it. You got British pounds, and you are not a British citizen, so they can go fuck themselves, and they're not going to get taxes from you or VAT or anything. A lot of things you can do. A lot of things you can do. But I am going to work on everything in my power to lower the taxes that I have to pay so I can get it as close to zero as possible. It sounds like a good strategy. Again, do some research on your own, consult a tax professional, especially in your individual use case. But I strongly recommend doing what you can to avoid paying taxes for 2026. So, do what you can for the entirety of the year to set up a strategy so you can pay as little as possible and write off as much as you can. Um, Again, figure out what that is. I don't know what it's like for your individual circumstance. Whether I'm not going to recommend that you commit crimes like not reporting income or something like that. But I will say that the U.S. government is not going in a direction where I particularly feel like spending any tax dollars is going to do any good whatsoever, or be of any value to actual American citizens, and it is instead going towards a bunch of foreign assholes that have no interest in American society. So I don't give two fucks about giving tax dollars to the U.S. government, and I will do everything I can to legally not do so, because why would I want to help out some fucking Somali nuclear engineer, or some Mexican dude? Why do I want to fucking support a foreign national who is not a US citizen? I don't want to do that. I don't want anyone ever getting federal funds for that, and nobody is stopping those federal funds from going out. So yeah, that's my strategy. If you have a strategy of your own, that's your strategy. But okay, so we have the frog captain, and then we're gonna do the interview with the locals. Reporting on mass casualty events, further reports on the F box causing problems, interview with a rabbi from FTX, and then we have the okay. A local Vietnamese man is being interviewed near a burned out village by someone from Fox News. Fat guys in frog suits are bulldozing down the old thatch, the old burnt thatch huts, and bodies of Chinese soldiers aside. A large development sign reads um um fried rice uh emporium coming soon. That looks like a futuristic Vietnamese village with a rice factory. The reporter says, how do you feel about all this? About the fat frogs being here. The Vietnamese man says, Jesus, dude. I don't know what the fuck this is. There, I'm happy they killed that bitch of a mother in law for me, and now they're building me a new hut. It's amazing. Okay. All right. Shit. Okay. All right. So once we get this, we're going to go back to Fox News, where she's going to report on the mass casualty event, and then further reports on the F-box causing problems, and then we're going to have the rabbi from FTX, and then we're going to have the subliminal messages. What's the little game? No, it's just you're doing exclamation mark hit to attack, and then when you're level 3, you can then go to you can then choose a class.
How do you feel about the fat frogs being here?
I'm happy. They killed that bitch of a mother-in-law for me, and now they're building me a new hut. It's amazing.
I like that her shirt, it almost looks like penis.
How do you feel about the fat frogs being here?
I'm happy. They killed that bitch of a mother-in-law for me, and now they're building me a new hut. It's amazing.
How do you feel about the fat frogs being here?
I'm happy. They killed that bitch of a mother-in-law for me, and now they're building me a new hut.
How do you feel?
Keeping it.
54th day. The fat frogs have established several bases in the region, and we go now to speak with the top frog in charge.
How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most disastrous manner, but managing them sucks worse than denims on 10-buck Tuesdays.
How do you feel about the fat frogs being here?
I'm happy. They killed that bitch of a mother-in-law for me, and now they're building me a new hut. It's amazing.
Okay. Um. There are several reports of the fat frogs, destroying entire villages, because they're bored. But let's see. Hold on. We need to talk about mass casualty events. Uh, wiping out villages and cities, but with survivors. Going off the rails and destroying all the villages. I'm trying to think. Okay. There's several mostly because they don't remember their orders, and Tectone is being blamed. Because he really is being blamed. He is going to end up being blamed for this one, just because he, at the end of the day, he didn't take care of the FTX box, or the F box, which is part of FTX. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Keith, it's just hit. And then if you want to heal, you have to be so now that you're level 3, you can do ! class, and you can be like a cleric or a knight or roach or something.
There are several reports of the fat frogs. There are several reports of the fat frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember their orders, and Tectone is being blamed. There are several reports of the fat frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember their orders.
Okay, it's the background. The background is where it's at.
There are several reports of the fat frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember their orders, and Tectone is being blamed. Reports of the fat frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember their orders. frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember. There are several reports of the fat frog.
Okay. The woman continues. KFC. Is the agency. Tectone is a part of. Claims this is because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Bucks. We have Rabbi Grabelstein. Here we go. AI drunken slurring. Yeah. The good text is really difficult. What you can't figure out is the piss poor generation of the text and the scenes. That's it. You're not going to get good shit out of that. AI has a hard enough time generating things, but when it comes to like the I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it already can't understand something when it has to change or be altered. Like if I just have the Fox News thing there, right? It understands what that is because it's a static image. But even here, right, where it's changing, it's not comprehending how to create actual text or a banner or anything like that. It understands the gist of what needs to be done, but it doesn't understand more than that.
There are several reports of the fat frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember their orders, and Tectone is being blamed. The KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Box. We have Rabbi Grabelstein. Tectone is being blamed. The KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Box. We have Rabbi Grabelstein for a response. KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Box. We have Rabbi Grabelstein for a response. Blamed. KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't. Blamed. The KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Box. We have Rabbi Grabelstein for a response. The KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Box. We have Rabbi Grabelstein for a response.
Hey, Dara, what's up, dude? All right. Download. And now. Okay, so I need. 36 images, 36 frames. Excellent. A rabbi sitting in a comfy chair um uh in a tech building for FTX. He says to an interviewer, look, we don't aren't evil. We are just humble rabbis looking for world domination. Tectone just broke a monitor we had in our my receptionist had on her desk. So he really is just being a dick. Alright. And now we need Turbo Jewish Core. FTX is gay. You'll see what we're doing here in a second. We got to make a short anime. We're gonna do an anime thing at some point. All right. That sounds gay as shit. We're using it. I'm gonna wait for it to finish, and you guys are gonna see exactly what I have in mind for this.
Look, we aren't evil. We are just humble rabbis looking for world domination. Tectone just broke a monitor my receptionist had on her desk, so he really is just being a dick. Look, we aren't evil. We are just humble rabbis looking for world domination. Tectone just broke a monitor my receptionist had on her desk, so he really is just being a dick.
Excellent. Excellent. So, okay. So now we go here. Tectone 2. Uh, hold on. Let me see if there's an easier way to do this. Can I easily condense the empty space between clips in DaVinci Resolve? Edit. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, so check this out. All right. Let me go here. Sorry. Okay.
Receptionist had on her desk, so he really is just being a dick.
Okay, so that's a bit too short. All right, so what, 2 frames do we think? Duration, frames. Let's see, 3 frames. And then delete gaps.
My receptionist had on her desk, so he really is just being a dick.
Does that look good?
So he really is just being a dick.
Am I still going to use leaflet rooting around in the trash? Yeah. Do we need more? Or should it be should each clip be a little like a frame longer? Because this is 3 frames. Or is that long? Is that long enough? Feels a bit too fast. Okay. Change clip duration frames. So we'll do 5. I don't want it to be too long. I do want it to be fast like that though. Apps. There. I think that's good. That's long enough in my opinion.
For a response.
Look, we aren't evil. We are just humble rabbis looking for world domination. Tectone just broke a monitor my receptionist had on her desk, so he really is just being a dick.
And we don't need it to go too long. We just want a little segment. Uh, is looking left off page and says, "Are we back?" She looks back at the camera and says, "I apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program." Um, let me see. We'll be back with further updates on Tectone and the fat frogs. On Vietnam to Electric Boogaloo. Let's see. After on the war after these messages. Okay. And then I need is holding a tablet and a Huey as it flies over the ocean in near the coast of Vietnam. A couple while sitting in back Huey H1. Okay, and then we'll do
Are we back? Are we back? Apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program. We will be back with further updates on the war after these messages. Are we back? We apologize.
why is she a fucking the next time that Veo can't spell, we can always just edit the splash banner. Yeah, I know. What's with all the race swapping? I don't know. I'm starting to get pretty fucking sick of it, but it's what we got to use, so that's what we're using. In fact, if you want to see what this looks like, we can see what it looks like with cling and then yeah, we're gonna try cling 2.6, see what it does.
Are we back? We apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program. We will be back with further updates on the war after these messages.
Okay, why is that allowed? Listen. Listen. Why is that allowed? But this isn't. I don't get it. Yeah, no, it's so much worse. Netflix adaptation. No, the Netflix adaptation is this one right here. This is the Netflix invasion.
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day.
Tectone. Uh. All right. I just need this, and then where's our image for Tectone in the back?
Are we back? We apologize for that. It looks like. Are we back? We apologize. Like they're trying to hijack our program. We will be back with further updates on the war after these messages.
Okay. Yeah, that's gay. Nana Banana's really failing me right now, man.
Are we back? We apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program. We will be back with further updates on the war after these messages. Are we back? We apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program.
That's pretty fucking... That's on the line right there. All right, Kling. I see what you're doing. All right.
Dick.
Are we back? We apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program. We will be back with further updates on the war after these messages.
Perfect. And then... Yeah, I know. That's the thing, right? I can keep doing realistic with Veo and dealing with this shit, or we could be dealing with something far worse. Sits clicks away from the tablet and says, There goes. All right. What? How is he gonna dismiss this? Rabbis are real fast. He looks forward and hands the tablet to someone front left the camera and says, "Know what? Fuck that. I don't need the news. Throw that bitch into the ocean." I got some assholes to kill. All right, let's see if this works. The rabbis aren't real conspiracy. It's gonna be yeah. There I'll give you guys a little bit of a spoiler.
Fucking lobsters for money.
Just a little bit.
Fucking lobsters for money. Rolling in my larder. Fucking lobsters for money. Rolling in my larder. Drifting through the Nam heat, bopping to the best beat. I just need the deeds on stopping those pudgies, making tons of money. Gonna fuck your honey, dropping bombs and eating bologna, watching this jungle burn before me. Ain't no stopping, ain't no capping, ain't no mercy left to go tanning. I care about only one thing. You gotta start up a fling, ready to fucking thing.
No, we're not going Russian. But that is the new song for the new car. Right? So he does have a new car. The Gooner van is going to explode. And so the Gooner van isn't going to exist anymore. Because he's instead going to have this thing. This is the new Gooner car that he has. And it's a Lada, so it's Russian. Yeah. But there is a line in there that tells you what you need to know. I also know he's going to go into Genshin and just fucking kill people. Automotive embodiment, yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I know it's Russian techno. I know, but there's going to be some shit. Not gonna lie, I'd drive that. I'd drive that car. Easy. It's wild enough that no one would know what the fuck it even is. Uh, you wouldn't? You'd try to drive it?
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill.
All right, here we go. Here's our opening.
Fox News, where retardation and autism meets.
Good evening and welcome to Fox News. Tonight, we are taking a closer look at Tectone's invasion of Vietnam, which is on its 54th day. The Fat Frogs have established several bases in the region, and we go now to speak with the top frog in charge.
How are things going in Vietnam?
These fat frogs have succeeded in the most disastrous manner, but managing them sucks worse than denims on 10-buck Tuesdays.
How do you feel about the Fat Frogs being here?
I'm happy. They killed that bitch of a mother-in-law for me, and now they're building me a new hut. It's amazing.
There are several reports of the Fat Frogs going off the rails and destroying all the villages nearby, mostly because they don't remember their orders, and Tectone is being blamed. KFC, Tectone's agency, claims this because he didn't deal with FTX and the stolen F-Box. We have Rabbi Grabelstein for a response.
Look, we aren't evil. We are just humble rabbis looking for world domination. Tectone just broke a monitor my receptionist had on her desk, so he really is just being a dick.
No. Are we back? We apologize for that. It looks like they're trying to hijack our program. We will be back with further updates on the war after these messages.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill.
How's that? Is that clean enough? I know the voice change is aggressive. I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. I wish I could, but
Fucking lobsters for money, always been the same damn game. They say it's for the country, but power just wants to change.
no, I just want to see.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill.
Is that a enough of a transition, or does there need to be something else? Because it's more of like, does it fit, right? The random handshake, I know. Let's try it again. Well, I think see if we can get rid of the handshake. I think that's the only thing that I really care about. If we can get rid of the handshake, then I think we'll be good. I want him to give the fucking tablet to somebody else so then we can actually see it being thrown. Makes sense. Tectone would be told about how his actions are being perceived globally. I don't know what else I would squeeze in there. Because there's really nothing that really comes to mind.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill. Those
That's better.
rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news.
That works a lot better. Where did it fucking download to? What? What did it reset? All right, whatever.
These messages.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill.
It wouldn't be the lobster claw because I don't. It's the frogs that are in there. Don't forget the smoke alarm beep for censoring the special word. No, because it shows him clearly not saying the special word.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the.
Because just look at his face. He's like he's about to say it, and then he's thinking about his words.
Those rabbis are real fat. You know what? I don't need the news. Throw that shit into the ocean. I got some assholes to kill.
And the beep we want to save for black tone. And then we're going to figure out how we transition from there.
Fucking lobsters for money, always been the same damn game. They say it's for the country, but power just wants to change. So it's always been about the money. You better wake up to it, honey. If you wanna see behind a curve, if you wanna know the real world, if you think they fight for kings, look closer at the strings. Get their dollars, get their cheddar, get their bacon, get their bread up. Cause it's always been about the money. Because it's always been about the money.
There's a couple edits I need to do here.
Don't kid yourself about it, honey. Red or blue, it all gets sold. Every promise turns to gold. For the ones who pull the thing, every promise turns to gold. For the ones who pull the thing, you just dance while they sing. Get their dollars, get their cheddar, get their bacon, get their bread up. Cause it's always been about their bread up. Cause it's always been about the money. Because it's always been about the money.
That one actually needs to be extended, so I'm going to redo the burning lobsters. I actually really do like that. The visuals, so we're going to reuse. We're going to make it 10 seconds. We're only gonna do one because I got to redo that one, and then we'll put that in, and then this one's fine. That needs a cut in the beginning. Also needs a cut in the beginning. Like the first frame isn't usable on these. And then the cut here is going to be to him in a helicopter. So I'll make sure we get that. Yeah, I don't know what I would be in my own series. I'm gonna wrangle fat frogs, pretty much. Oh, something real quick to show you guys. Let's go to my library. All right. So real quick, I wanna show you guys something that's actually the future of product development. So this is the website, the merch site where you guys can buy merch if that's something that you guys want to do. So I decided, okay, let's take this. It's the Nothing Ever Happened shirt. Okay. I like the design. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. And so Higgsfield has a service where you can take a single a URL to a product and turn it into a full-on ad for it. Is it perfect? No, but and I know people are going to say that it looks like shit, but buddy, let me just tell you, this is the beginning.
Speed as the size of speed.
One-click ads. One-click ads are a thing already. Now they suck. I'm going to play the audio for you.
Speed as the size of speed is intention. Argument because nothing ever happens pattern button up, gold, comfy, and perfectly absurd for daily style.
Okay, so it looks exactly like a shirt I would wear. I know. But my point is, all I did is I gave it the URL. I didn't give it any description. I didn't do anything outside of just the URL. And I said, okay, fuck it. Let's make an ad, use a couple credits here and there. And it was able to do that. Gentlemen, we're reaching a point pretty quick where AI is going to be more than everywhere. The creativity is what's lacking in it, and it's lacking that human essence to it. I need to fuck with it more, seeing what I can do, but still, the fact that I can just paste a link, it'll scrape it, it'll figure all of it out, it'll look at all the product photos, and then it'll make an ad based on that product, and it'll do a pretty damn good job of keeping it, displaying it properly. Kind of wild, in my opinion. Yeah, I need to see what I can do. Can we do the like a frame of the inside of a barrel for the walking of the scene? I'll see what I can do. It's cool. It's just not. It's not there yet. It's not quite there. It will be soon.
Because it's always been because it's always been about the money.
Okay, so that had a problem there. Fine. Edit that a little bit. All right, and then we can continue with our episode. Gentlemen, we're at I just want to point out we already have 4.5 minutes of content. We're gonna make something wild with this. So I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. I do need to cut this a little short yet again. So let me kind of tell you guys a little bit more about the schedule kind of going forward, so you guys are aware of where things are. Every Monday and Wednesdays when I have my daughter, right? So if it's a weekend, I go to for Mondays, like every other, and then I have her every other weekend, right? So like from Friday to Sunday. So I just had her this past weekend. So I had to cut yesterday short because I had to take her to school in the morning. She goes to school, I take her to school about 7:15. And then because she spends the night, I have to take her to school the next day. So Monday nights and Wednesday nights are usually going to be cut around this time, just so then I can make sure that I'm up and I'm not necessarily awake at 7, but I am awake enough that I can drive safely to and from school to drop her off. Then on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and every other weekend, we will be up much later. I'm going to put more of a definite schedule down so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. But tomorrow will be a much longer stream. I have to be up early for it. But yeah, I need to put more of a schedule so that you guys know what's going on when things are happening and all of that shit. But that is, I think, gonna do it for tonight. I think I've made a decent enough progress. We got our intro completely done, which I didn't know if we necessarily would, especially with how fucky it's been. But now we're gonna work on the rest of it. I think we're gonna focus a lot on how Higgsfield makes things, just because, at least for the starting image, because it seems to be doing a really fucking crazy good job of that. And we'll see how long we can continue to use Higgsfield because it is so expensive. And speaking of expensive, if you guys would like to help out with the stream, with development, or help me out in any way, then there are a lot of links that are in the description of the YouTube video. There are also a bunch of links in the Kick stream that are, tagged up there at the top. If those are things that you would like to participate in, you absolutely can. I showed the menaceCrew.com where you can find merch and other links and stuff like that. There's a Patreon, there's PayPal, there's all sorts of shit if you would like to do that. However, the best way to support me, share one of my videos. Make somebody else laugh. And especially if you know somebody that wants to be into development or they want to learn how to do that, with AI, or they're thinking about AI, or, they're interested in how people do things. Share the streams. We are going to be going pretty hard at this for the next, 17 days. So we have quite a bit that we got going on, and it's going to be, 17 days roughly of just straight development nonstop. I am going to try and be here at 8:30 sharp. Tonight was a little, um, you know, just had to do the whole bedtime routine and all that shit. But 8:30 we are going to be alive, and it's going to be a great time. And with that, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are all amazing. I never thought I'd be doing this, and I am so very grateful, beyond grateful, that you guys have allowed me to do this since August, and we are going to continue going as long as possible. As long as I have power, as long as I have internet, I am going to continue making content and streaming for you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here, and you guys have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, or afternoon. Later, guys.